Hi guys, good afternoon. I am coming to you from my um, home office in my bedroom, if you can excuse the laundry on the bed. um, but I just had some information I wanted to share with the wider group. Some of you may know I spent the last 4 days in Park Cities, Utah, and at the Lavender Farm in Mona as part of Silver Retreat, which is a really special trip that if you earn the rank of Silver, if you do Young Living for a Business, they take you on this absolutely amazing trip full of information, and you get to go and actually see the lavender farms, which, by the way, you can go and do anytime. You don't have to do Young Living for a Business or even be a member of Young Living to go and visit the farms. The one in Mona is the biggest, and it's amazing. If you ever get an opportunity and you're up in the area, definitely look it up and go see it. They've got a visitor center. They're open, I think, every day, so do that. But that is not why I am making this video. So one of the things that we learned on our trip during some of our training, the head of the Young Living Foundation, he used to be the Gary Young Foundation, now it's the Young Living Foundation, is a lady named Nikki Davis, and she is just an incredible person. Has such a giving and just caring heart for people, and specifically for kids. And so she is very passionate about her job. You can tell it, you can see it, every time she speaks. And I've heard her speak on numerous occasions, and it gets me every single time. Makes me a little teary just even thinking about it. But what I wanted to share with everybody is some of the updates that she gave us regarding the foundation. And if you have a heart for caring for others and are always looking for new ways to give and to know that your money is going in a really good place, and that there's actually something being done with the dollars that you are giving. I just want to encourage everybody to think about giving to the Young Living Foundation, and I'll talk about how you can do that in just a minute. But so when the foundation was originally started, it was mainly to help support the school that Gary Young started in Ecuador. And that is still one of the main points of giving with the Young Living Foundation. But they've actually expanded outside of that, and they have several other nonprofits that they work with in Uganda. And each and every one of them is special in their own way, and I won't get into the details of exactly what they are, but I'll give you a little bit of highlights, because this could be like an hour-long video, and I don't want to do that. But if you have additional questions specifically about the different groups that we work with and what they do, please contact me. Let me know, and if I don't know the answer, then we'll get the answer. So. So first, I talked about the Young Living Academy. This school in Ecuador, right now we've got almost 300 students. They're having their first graduating class this spring. The first group of seniors that have gone through the school, and they've recently finished completing a new school building. And so these kids come from some surrounding villages. They have not just learning math and science and reading and English. They teach them. They have sports that compete against other schools in the area, other private schools in the area. They have drama and music, and they're not just teaching these kids memorization, reading, writing, which is how all of the public schools in the area are. They are actually teaching these kids problem solving and critical thinking and leadership skills, and they do internships with these kids when they get to the high school level. They either go to the Young Living corporate that's there near the town and they do internships there, or they'll do internships on the farm that's there. And, they're teaching these kids and showing them that they have options and opportunities outside of what they have always known. So they're making a huge, huge difference in the lives of those kids. In Uganda, they've got 3 different groups that they work with. The first one is the African Hearts Community is the name of the group. what they do is so within the slums of Uganda, there are kids that are either orphans or homeless, and really have nothing. They sleep in the streets. They huff glue, sniff glue, not to get high, but to dull the hunger pains, because they have literally nothing, and they may go days and days and days without eating. So, and that just makes me want to cry to see these little kids, and teenagers. But what this African Hearts community does is they go in, they have a sort of a transitional home that they have open that we have helped them double the size of. They have a farm, which we have helped them go from 10 acres to 50 acres, and which they, grow food, also, help teach these kids a skill. They do medical visits into the towns themselves. We've helped them be able to increase that from 3 times a week to 5 times a week, and they're working on every day. So 7 days a week they'll be able to go in and provide medical care for these kids. We are in the process and just broke ground of helping them build a nursery school that's going to house over 200 children. So without the help of the Young Living Foundation, they would not have been able to make these increases. Yes, they would still be making an impact, but we are helping them make even more of an impact. And so wherever we can do that, we want to. Because without the limitations that they had before, as far as monetary and fund-wise, they would not have been able to make some of these changes and reach the number of kids that they're now reaching. The next one is a group called Soul Hope, and I think this one is probably my favorite. So one of the problems that these kids, and not just kids, but adults too, face because they don't have shoes is they get these little flea-like parasites. You can get them on your feet, you can really get them anywhere, and they burrow into your skin, and it just gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. But they're called jiggers, Jiggers. And because there is no education on what this is, people think it's a curse. And so if someone gets it, they actually kick that person out of their community because they think it's a curse. They don't want it spread. So and especially if it's a small child, they're an orphan now. Their family is kicking them out. And so this group comes in, first of all, provides education about what it actually is and that it is preventable and it is curable. They provide medical care for the people that have it. They take in those that have been kicked out of their communities and they help them get well and reintroduce them into their communities. When they leave and they've been kicked out and they come back, a lot of their families assume that they were dead. And it's just really amazing to see some of the pictures of these adults and children coming back to their communities and to see their families so excited to see them. They also give them new shoes. And even though I've heard Nikki talk about these programs multiple times before, the one thing that I learned new with the Soul Hope group is you can actually have a shoe party. Or you can call it whatever you want. But basically, what you can do is get together with some of your friends. You could do it as a service event. If you maybe have kids that are in service activities, I don't know if it would count for like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Brownies, or a church. You get together. There's a pattern on their website. I think you can actually get it from the Young Living Foundation website as well. You get your old jeans and you cut out the shoe patterns out of the jeans, and then you package them up and you send them to their headquarters in North Carolina, and then they take those and turn them into shoes. So that's just another new way that I didn't even know we can make a difference. And that's something that I'm going to be coordinating with some friends and anybody who is local to me or not local to me. I encourage all of us to do that. Get some friends together, have a little girls' night, guys' night, or again, if you've got kids that need to do community service as part of a group that they're in, this is a great one to do, because you're not asking people to donate money, you're just asking them to donate, used jeans, and they can come and help too if they want. So I really like that, and it really just seems like a great opportunity to be able to actually have hands-on and help. Um, and then the last group is called Healing Faith Uganda. Um, and a statistic that really just tugs on my heartstrings is that every 60 seconds there's a child that dies from malaria. And malaria is so preventable and so treatable. But again, in these areas, people don't have the education to know what it is. They think it's a curse, or you've done something wrong, or somebody in your family did something wrong. They don't realize that it comes from a mosquito. I actually learned, I didn't know, I knew it came from mosquitoes. I didn't realize that it only came from the female mosquitoes and only at night. So, I don't know if you knew that, learn something new every day. So one of the ways to help prevent it is to have mosquito nets. And, but, people don't realize that in the area. They also, if they do, they don't have the funds to buy the mosquito nets, and they cost like $2. And to us, that's nothing. So Healing Faith Uganda, what they do is they go in, they help provide medical care and education. They also help, they bring the mosquito nets, help put them up in these families' homes. Usually it's, one mosquito net goes over the bed because everybody sleeps in the same bed. So really $2 a family is what it takes to help prevent malaria for these kids and these families. So we talked about ways that you could help, and if you maybe you're already doing some of these, and if you are, that's great, but you may not even know how you can help. So if you are on Essential Rewards, which is the monthly order that you have through Young Living, then as you go through your checkout, there's an option before you check out, a little box in the corner, and it says, do you want to make a donation to the Young Living Foundation? And you can do it two ways. You can either make a dollar amount, so you could do $1, $2, $10, whatever, or there's a little box, and this is new, where you check mark it and it says round up. And so if your order is $50.25, you round up, it's going to round up to the next dollar, so it's going to be $51. So if you could, if you just wanted to click round up every single time, I think if you do it once, it will continue to do it for you, so you don't have to do it every month. But Nikki told us that if every single person who was on Essential Rewards chose to round up every month, we could raise $500,000 a month. And that just blew my mind, because it could be 20 cents from one person and 50 cents from another. I mean, $500,000, that is a huge amount of money. So I am begging you, I don't do that very often, begging you, if you are on Essential Rewards, click the roundup button or do $1, whatever you feel like you can do. If you are not on Essential Rewards, don't worry, you can still give. If you are placing just a quick order, and maybe you just need a few things, you don't order every month, which is fine. You'll have the same options as you go through checkout, so you can choose to round up, or you can choose to make a dollar donation. So I just, please, listen to your heart, what you think that you can give, and I just encourage everybody to do that. You can sponsor a child. I know, so there's a couple of groups out there that do something similar, but you can do that with the Young Living Foundation. You can sponsor a child at the school in Ecuador. It's $75 a month. I actually talked to Nikki one-on-one about this, because I had a couple of questions, and I think if you go through, I forget some of the name of the organizations, Compassion International is the one that's coming to mind. They say it's $30 or $40 a month. And so I asked her, I said, why is ours $75? Not that I mind giving $75, because I don't. But, I was just curious. I wanted to be able to know what we do that's different. And one of the things is, usually through Compassion International, you might be sharing, like maybe somebody else sponsoring the same child. That's not true for every organization that does that, but there are some that do that. Also, she said the level of education that we are giving to the kids in Ecuador, like I mentioned, they teach them much more than reading, writing, English. They also provide meals for them while they're there. And she was very, very, you know, emphatic about this, is they provide them a meal that you or I would eat. So they're not just giving them a carby, starchy, just a cup of rice or anything like that. It's real fruits and vegetables and meat and, good, healthy, nutritious meals. That way they know that those kids are at least getting one good meal a day, because many of them don't when they go home. So they really, really feed them when they're there. So that's where part of the money goes and why it's more. So I really like knowing that those kids are getting a healthy, nutritious meal. Let's see, I had one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes, the most important thing, I think. Not most important, but very important. A lot of nonprofits you hear about in the news of, if you donate $1, only 30 cents of it really goes to the organization, because there's all these administrative costs and these CEOs that you're paying. With the Young Living Foundation, Young Living corporate pays 100% of the administrative costs. So every single cent, every single dollar that you give to the Young Living Foundation goes directly to helping those kids and those families. So you're not paying, and I'm not paying any of the administrative costs. I'm not paying for any of the trips for when Nikki and her group go and visit these places and they talk to the leaders of these organizations. We are not paying for any of that. Young Living pays for all of it. So that just is a huge thing for me. I would much rather give my money to this organization, knowing that all of my money is going to make a difference. Most of you weren't at convention, there were some were, but they did kind of a challenge for us and did a little mini fundraiser while we were there, and they challenged us to raise $1 million for the Young Living Foundation over the 2 sessions of convention. And so it was like 8 days long. They had 2 different sessions. And so the challenge was to raise $1 million, and we actually raised $1.2 million. So there were probably a total of 20,000 people there total, maybe 10,000 in each session. So, I mean, amazing. That she was just blown away that, we knocked their goal out of the water. And that money specifically went to some of the changes that I was talking about. With the African Hearts community, where they were able to double the number of days that they're going in and giving healthcare, multiply the amount of land that they have to be able to build this nursery school and all those things. So they're immediately making a change and being able to put this money into action. And I think that's awesome. I don't think I could say that enough. So before I go, I hope some of that really laid on your heart. Maybe something that maybe this is something you want to do and you want to make sure you round up. Please round up or give if you're placing an order. It does make a huge difference, even if it's just a little bit amount. And I hope it speaks volumes to you if you didn't already know what this company is about. Yes, we're about living a healthy life and being able to support our bodies with these great oils and products that we have and we're able to purchase through this community. But more than anything, Gary Young always says, I don't make products for a profit. I make products for a purpose. And after going on Silver Retreat and hearing Nikki again for probably the 3rd time talk about the Young Living Foundation, that is the purpose. The purpose is to help others, to be able to make a difference in the lives of other people, whether it's your neighbor that needs some lavender oil or a child across the world that needs a new pair of shoes or a malaria net. We are able to make a difference in all those situations. So you guys have a great Monday, and if you have any questions about anything I talked about, please let me know. I've got some more detailed notes. I just didn't want to spend an hour, even though I've spent 20 minutes. So hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and talk soon. Bye.